Hi, welcome to another Out of the Norm show where the stories are all about you. Well, today you can see where we are. We're with the Lincoln family here in Springfield, Illinois. We're going to visit the Abraham Lincoln Presidential Library and Museum and learn a lot of new things about our 16th president. I think you're going to really like this show. It's going to be a good one, so don't go away. We'll be right back after a quick break on the Out of the Norm show where the stories are all about you and you too.
It's the Out of the Norm Show, where the stories are all about you, with author, musician, radio and television personality, and all-around nice guy, your host, Norm Allen.
Hi, welcome back to the Out of the Norm Show. Again, we're glad you're with us, and I think Dave Blanchett's glad we're here too, right, Dave?
We're glad you're here. Welcome to the Abraham Lincoln Presidential Library and Museum.
Well, this is going to be very exciting. I've had the opportunity to see a lot of museums, presidential museums around the country, but this one I've been told is the most impressive.
Well, it's impressive because it's different. What you get here is an experience that immerses you in Lincoln's life and times. You're not a spectator to history, you're a participant in history. So you not only know what Lincoln said, you know what Lincoln thought and what Lincoln felt. And so people leave here with an emotional attachment to our 16th president and the Civil War period that they otherwise would not have had.
Does it bring the story more to a human level as opposed to the icon Abraham Lincoln, but the person Abraham Lincoln? Do we really get in touch with that?
That's exactly what we do here. We present Lincoln warts and all. He was a regular guy who rose to greatness, and that's part of the Lincoln story, the fact that you can raise yourself up by your own bootstraps and become the greatest living president in the United States of America.
And where we are right now, just this exhibit, tell me a little bit about where we are here in this beautiful gallery.
This is the facade of the 1861 White House, exactly to scale. And this introduces you to Lincoln's presidential years. There are two exhibit journeys in the museum. One tells Lincoln's story from birth through his election as president. This tells the story of the White House years through the Civil War and his assassination. And so what better way to do that than to have you walk through the front door of the 1861 White House right into the Lincoln presidency.
Oh, that sounds very exciting. Even though we have a few eavesdroppers over here, kind of figure out what's going on.
That's Mr. John Wilkes Booth. I'm sure you'll be pleased to make his acquaintance. And we find out a little bit more about his part in the Lincoln story a little bit later in the museum.
All right. Well, we're going to go. I didn't get in a hurry to get here, but it kind of makes you want to drive fast when you get ready to leave. We're right here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway here in Indianapolis, Indiana. We're going to have a great time today looking at some of the historical vehicles that have won the Indy 500, as well as some other vehicles that have set other major world records. That and much more right here on the Out of the Norm show. So don't go away. Don't speed off. Yield. We'll be right back. Stop right here on the Out of the Norm show where the stories are all about you. We'll be right back. Norm Allen with you on another Out of the Norm show. We're in Mr. Rogers' neighborhood today, but we're not wearing cardigans, are we?
No.
If you don't recognize these gentlemen, let me introduce you to Mr. Roy Rogers Jr. We all know him as Dusty all of his life, and of course Dustin Rogers, who is the third generation down from the King of the Cowboys.
Yes, sir.
Quite exciting to be here. Now, we just finished watching your show, and I loved it. I mean, it's comfortable, it's relaxing, and I notice people just kind of ooze right into it.
Yeah.
Is that the kind of music that you grew up with singing in the household?
I mean, ever since my dad started the Pioneers in 1934. I come along in 46, so they were at the top of their career in the 40s when I came along, and so I grew up with the Pioneers literally at the house, working on their music. And I've known every one of the Sons of the Pioneers from the very first ones all the way up through to present day. I'm probably one of the few guys alive that's done that. They could have known them all.
So singing around the piano or with guitars?
Sure.
I just stepped into an improvisation of a Hard Day's Night scene or something.
You did.
Lights are flying everywhere. And,
all right.
But he's clean.
He's very clean.
Hey, I want to tell you, we are so happy to have on the Out of the Norm show today some very, very special guests. We're going to talk about music and entertainment and nostalgia and feelings and all kinds of cool stuff. First, the lady of the group, which is an honor to get to speak with her, is Miss Louise Harrison, and I'm so glad that you gave us time to be here today.
Well, I've got to be somewhere.
You've got to be somewhere. Mm-hmm. Now, her claim to fame is, number one, she's a great lady. She's an industrial lady, she's a creative lady, and she also comes from a pretty good family with a younger brother, don't you?
Yes, yeah. And I also had a father and mother.
You had a father and mother too?
Yeah, before the brother, yeah.
Before the brother?
Yeah.
Wow, the whole family.
Yeah, yeah.
George Harrison's sister, Louise, and we're so glad to have you. And here's a couple of guys who are part of the Liverpool Legends, and you can see why they're here, because they are preserving and bringing to America and the world keeping a part of our life.
September the 11th means a lot to many of us. We remember it for what happened in our lives. But there was another September the 11th that was just as important, filled with terrorism, racial bigotry, and hatred for a certain group of people. We're going to talk about that and an event that happened out in Utah, down in a little valley. Peaceful place with just innocent folks trying to travel cross country, and something very significant in American history happened there that we need to be remembering. So I hope you'll stay with us today on the Out of the Norm show, because today the story really is all about you.
I can't speak the language, but I do know the sport. And you're going to enjoy today's show, too, from Canton, Ohio, at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. We're going to be looking at some of the great Cowboys of the past and Cowboys of the future. And the Cowboys, oh, I'm kind of getting stuck on that a little bit, aren't I?
I think you're a little caught up on the Cowboys here, Norm.
Hey, you can get caught up with your favorite team and catch up with some great history from America right here in Canton, coming up on the Out of the Norm show. So please don't go away. The story is all about you today. Milked any cows lately? Gathered any eggs? Sat on an old tractor? Or maybe you haven't ever in your life, but this is an opportunity to connect with the agriculture life of America as we visit the National Agriculture Center and Hall of Fame just outside Kansas City, Missouri. Now, if you're into trout fishing, I'm going to take you to a place that this is a place you're going to really love. It was called by Field and Stream magazine one of the best places in America for brown trout and speckled and rainbows, and well, you'll find out about that too. It's also on the shores of the largest lake in Arkansas, Bull Shoals Lake. Bull Shoals Lake, White River State Park, right here on the Out of the Norm show. Don't go away, because the story's a good one today. Out of the Norm show. I'm in a dusty little old shop here that could be making anything from coffee tables to bookends, but it's actually the home of Skinny Trammell's beautiful guitars, fiddles, mandolins, dobros. What else you making, Skinny?
That miniature cowboy boots, I whittle them.
Oh, he whittles too, so you're going to find out about Skinny Trammell here in Lone Star, Texas. So don't go away. There's good stuff on the Out of the Norm show where the story's all about you today. Hi, welcome to another version of the Out of the Norm show. We're certainly glad you're with us because we're going to have a very, very special day today in a special place with a special man. If you've wondered what the Florida Seminoles were going to do this, oh, the Ron Bowden, right?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm kin to him or not, but he kind of looks like some of my family members.
Well, we're going to find that and a whole lot more from Richard Bowden in just a little while right here on the Out of the Norm show. So don't you dare go away. There's good stuff coming your way on the Out of the Norm show where the stories are all about you. Problem if you're not in a hurry to get there. This might be it right here. This is Peggy, right? Oh, Booper. This is Betty Booper. And she's giving me a little ride today, and I don't know, we're going to call the rest of the elephants. I think I hear Stampede coming. Hey, don't go away. There's a good show today for you on the Out of the Norm show. Hi, welcome to another version of the Out of the Norm show. We're certainly glad you decided to join us today. This is going to be a lot of fun. You're going to find out about some things around your household. If you look in your kitchen, in your bathroom, at your car, at your furniture, literally everything that you live with and makes your life great has been affected by this part of Texas. Where is it? You'll find out very soon. Don't go away. There's more stuff right here on the Out of the Norm show where the stories all about you. Hi, welcome to another version of the Out of the Norm show. We're having a lot of fun today. We're visiting a farm, Ratchford Farms, out here in the rural Ozarks and out in the middle of the hills. And we're going to be visiting with the owner, LG, in just a little. LC, right? LC? Correct. Okay. I want to make sure I get his name. He's off camera right now. He'll be joining me in a few minutes. And we're going to take a tour of the farm and see some beautiful animals and talk about business in the area and just a whole lot of neat stuff that I think you're going to enjoy. So please don't go away. There's good stuff coming on the Out of the Norm show here on 19. People eat these things in some parts of the world, but how in the world could you do that with somebody this sweet? I don't even know this one's name. I'm sure it's named, but Emu the Emu. There you go. And she's just lovely. And we're going to be looking at the farming aspect of exotic animals here in north central Arkansas. There's all kinds of opportunities here. And we'll find out about some products that you can buy in your local supermarkets also as part of this business. You're going to find out secrets that happened from World War II all the way up to current days. We're going to find out the politics of espionage and all those interesting things about spies and spies in Europe and spies in Germany and spies in Washington, D.C. You're going to find that out and a lot more right here on the Out of the Norm show. So don't you dare go away. A good one's coming because the story's all about you.